Hey peeps, Naisha here, and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's get to the video. Today I'm going to give you my opinions on the Deadliest Game. It says when your wealthy best friend invites you to the murder mystery party of the decade, the stakes become all too real. There will definitely be spoilers. So once again, you have been warned. There will be spoilers. Now, overall, I do have other videos talking about a few, I won't say several chapters of the Deadliest Game. So if you want to check it out, you can. But to make it all short, just in case if you don't watch that video, basically you play as Finn. Finn is I want to say she's an upcoming author who has a few murder mystery books out there, and she's working on another one. She's been invited to her rich best friend Nick's murder mystery party, and once she gets there, they catch up, hug. However, he tells her to be on the lookout and to keep an eye on his friends, and she finds that to be a bit suspicious. And while she's meeting everybody and things like that, in I want to say in the evening, there's first of all, a storm. It's brewing like an actual storm. And then not only that, but Nick ends up dead. It seemed like it's a suicide at first. However, Finn, John, and Dante basically find evidence. I want to say mostly Finn and John, but they find evidence that Nick was not, like, it wasn't him harming himself. It was actual murder. And that's where the story just takes off. Now, Finn, John, Dante, and later on Farah basically go looking for evidence, include to figure out why Nick was killed and who did it. Now, everyone, you have Pete, Steve, Finn, John, Farah, Dante, Angeline, Liz, Crystal, and Madani. These are like the characters and stuff like that. But we already know that Finn, John, Dante, and Farrah, they ain't got nothing to do with the murder. So basically, at first you have Steve, Pete, Angeline, Liz, Crystal, and Madani. However, Madani also later on in the story, she ends up being murdered. So then you have Pete, Steve, Liz, Angeline, and Crystal. I know I was going with either Pete or Steve. Like, either one of them did it by themselves. I know there was a moment where they said something about, like, well, if there's two killers, and I was thinking to myself, if there are two killers, I feel like it has to be either Crystal and Steve or Crystal and Pete. Like, if it had to be like a two killer, but like, yeah. I didn't suspect Angeline or Liz at all. The only thing Angeline was guilty of was cheating on Nick. That's plain and simple. And we find out that was Liz, which I thought is so freaking funny because I told myself, what if it's a woman? Because I told myself, I was like, we see boxers, but I was like, what if it's a woman? Like, what if that, like, doesn't mean anything? And the boxers didn't mean anything because we found out that it actually was a woman. It actually was Liz. Angeline was cheating on Nick with Liz, his assistant. And she likes to wear boxers because they are comfortable. Which, hey, I don't blame her. They are comfortable. Um, so I just thought that was hilarious because I was thinking to myself because it was like we thinking it's gonna be Pete and Steve, but let's be honest, they like come on, they're not giving. I'm sorry, but they're not giving like Angelina would cheat on Nick with those two. Like I'm sorry, they're not because they're not even like because Nick was actually good looking and Steve and Pete, he okay looking, and Steve, he's good looking, but he's a jackass and a dumbass. Like there ain't no good combination you want in a lover. That's just me personally and stuff. So yeah, So that's why I was thinking like it'd be funny if it's one of the women and stuff. And I never guessed it would be Liz, but you know what? It does make sense because they are like opposite and they do say opposite attract. So I thought that was interesting. Um, and then while Finn, John, Dante, and Farrah are like, trying to solve this mystery, like, sometimes it seemed like Dante, well, it doesn't seem like Dante, but like there are chapters where it seemed like Dante would be a suspect at first. Farrah was just a little bit. John was a suspect, and then of course your character Finn, she becomes depending on how you play the person, either a male or female. I'm thinking you guys will do they them. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But um yeah, you could do yeah, I want to say yeah, depending on, but basically, yeah, Finn also gets accused of murdering um Nick and Madani, but it turns out the person who did it was actually Pete, which made sense because um the main reason why he killed Nick is because he wanted to turn Roosh, which was the company that Nick founded and created. He wanted to turn Whoosh into like wanting them to do security um stuff and things like that. So, and Nick didn't want that. And not only that, but Nick also he decided to give up his wealth and give up his his position in the company and auction off the shares of Whoosh and stuff like that. And Pete didn't want that. And so, yeah, you can see what happened. And of course, you could choose whether to, save Pete. Because there's a moment where Pete ends up falling, like, about to fall. And you could either save him so he could go to jail or not save him and he ends up, dead and stuff. I know I was watching Logan Turn 3, so he ended up just letting him die. Overall, um, the story in itself, because after, like, the whole Pete situation, the cops finally come, and of course, they tell well, yeah, they tell the cops. Well, I'm assuming they tell the cops. We don't know. Y'all know how Pixelberry do things, but like, of course, like since 6 months later, Finn has finished her book, Murder. I want to say Murder by Malice, and everybody who survived the whole mansion ordeal comes to her meet and greet, and like give life updates and all that stuff. And not only that, but the police basically calls like them back to the police department to discuss like the evidence, which I thought was daunting. I really thought like the like going through each evidence was daunting. I would have preferred it if, like, when the police actually came to the mansion, like, had finally came to the mansion, that they went over the evidence and not, like, I can understand why Pixelberry did it that way, but I kind of wish we could have skipped that, because ain't nobody feel like going over the evidence. We knew exactly why, um, like, Finn got like the evidence that she got, the conclusion that she came to. We we as an audience got that, but to go through it again, I mean, I didn't care. Um, but yeah, I want to say after you do visit the police station, things like that, I know there's a part where um, they go to Nick's grave. Finn, Farrah, John, and Dante. Not only that, but they also have time to catch up. You catch up with Angeline and Liz too. You know that Angeline and Liz are engaged. Uh, Steve and Crystal were together, but I guess they got a divorce, which I'm trying to figure out. Wait, they got a divorce? They got married that quick, and they got like that was weird and suspicious. But and then not only that, but you get to catch up with Dante, John, and Farrah to figure out what happened. Like with Dante, you find out you find out that he had a film project, but there was a scandal behind the film project, and if he basically, you know, um, basically like call out the producer, because the scandal was because of the producer. If he called out the producer, then the film project would be scrapped. And this was a film that he didn't have to basically be typecast, because he always would play the Latino gangster, and he didn't want to play that role, which I understand, because it's like you don't want to be typecast to something. Like if you always play the bad guy, but you want to play like something else, like you want to play a bubbly person, it's like no one's gonna think that you could play that part, because you've been typecast to play a certain role always. So I understand what he means, and stuff like that. Like, I got it, because it's like I'm pretty sure there are actors out there, especially um, ones where like they play a certain role, and then of course because they played that certain role, they get typecast, and they keep playing this role, and no one really takes them serious if they want to play something different. So yeah. with Farrah, she was an art thief. She and Nick, they had like a little a little thing going on where he would help her, um like she would steal the painting and he would help get the painting back to the rightful owner. And she has Liz and Angeline helping her with her operation. And then with John, his family, where they live, there was like a chemical like waste that got into the waters, and so he went home to help with that. And what else happened? And of course, I want to say at the end, like, cause like they catch up, and of course, like John and Finn, they spend time together. Um, yeah, they spend time together, and they finally, bound chicken wow wow. And then, at the end of the book, she goes back to get some more copies of her book, and this woman who works at the place that had that she had her little meet and greet at, said that she needed help with something, and of course Ben was like, okay, tell me more, and that's how it ended. Now, what I have to say, like, overall, I felt like the Deadliest Game had potential in the beginning. Like, I want to say the first, 4 chapters, I was like, okay, this has potential. I see what's going on here. I was like, I'm interested in this. However, I want to say because of the format that Pixelberry took, which is um, a chapter a week, I feel like, especially for this, I feel like it kind of sizzle, like the energy that I had, the excitement that I had for this story, it kind of sizzle out, like week after week and stuff like that, because it seemed like each chapter will lead off into a cliffhanger, and it's like this weird they won't they type of situation, because it's like one minute, because I understand the cliffhanger where Finn is like, Nick didn't harm himself, he was murdered, like that's fine. But then when she get some note, or then when be like, Dante might be the killer, or John might be the killer, or like they think I'm the killer, like that type of situation. I don't know. It gets kind of boring, and just again, it gets kind of stale. So yeah. Also, I want to say the background music kind of because um when I watched Locum 23 play, I didn't really hear the background music that much. But when I played it myself, um, there were a few parts, especially when you go in to look for clues, um, where the music would be like a upbeat jazz tempo, and I didn't like that at all, because it's like we're looking for clues. Our good friend just died. We found out he was murdered. He just, like, we found out he murdered, and we found out that someone did this, and it was like malicious intent and all that other stuff. It's like we don't need a you know up temp beat up tempo. I can't speak, but we don't need like a upbeat jazz tune playing and stuff like we in a jazz lounge. No. Now the mystery background that they had, the one that kind of just seems like it would fit like a noir um movie and stuff, that was okay. But the up tempo jazz tune that you would hear, that was just no. I had to actually take my headphones out and just wait for that to end because that was very distracting. It kept taking me out of the story because it's like, ew, who who approved that? Who? I just need to know who approved that because that, baby, you did not eat that one up. You, if you thought you ate, you didn't. That was atrocious. I'm gonna need for you to try again. Matter of fact, just stick to the noir beat that you had because that was fine. That was okay. Hell, if y'all had that the whole entire book, I would have been okay with that. But no, sometimes you would hear that upbeat jazz tempo and it got on my damn nerves. I'm telling you. Not only that, there was too much of a slow burn, and what I mean by that is that for some odd reason, like I feel like I don't know what Pixelberry was trying to do. Like maybe they was trying to like, get back to what Most Wanted was. However, it kind of failed because in this one, especially because you have three love interests. Now I can understand if you had one love interest, then I can understand a slow burn. And not only that, but I can understand if this was a series. This really isn't a series, and not only that, but this isn't like a book. You know what I'm saying? This is not like a book. This is an interactive story. So, and sometimes you can do a slow burn. Again, like I said, Most Wanted was a prime example. However, I feel like if you're gonna do a slow burn, I would prefer it to be a series. And I don't know if this is going to be a series or not and stuff. Um, I don't think it is, but because of that, I feel like this shouldn't have been a slow burn, especially because you had three love interests. You had Dante, Farrah, and John. I feel like because you had three love interests, we don't need no slow burn. Just you could give us a bound chicken wow wow. It's okay. It's fine. Like you gave us one before. It's okay. It's all right. Like Crimes of Passion. Just saying, there was a whole bunch of brown chicken wow wow in that. So it's like, yeah, you could give us some brown chicken wow wow. We ain't like, we're not gonna say nothing. But yeah, I feel like it was just too much of a slow burn and stuff. Cause it's like, um, I feel like, especially, I want to say, because there could be people who probably can't decide who to choose. Like, they don't know if they want Dante, they don't know if they want Farrah, they don't know if they want John. Now, for those who choose one person, like me, I felt like it was okay, but it would have been nice to have some type of scenes, especially at the end and stuff. Like in the beginning, like no scenes, that's fine. But at the end, it would have been nice to just have that one scene, um, the last chapter, to have that last chapter be the bound chicken wow wow. I just thought it was funny and disrespectful. I was like, really? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Also, I feel like another thing that kind of just threw me off about this book was I would have preferred if they gave us the whole book, like what they did back in 2016. Because when Pixelberry first came out, they gave us like the whole book, especially with like the Freshman, Most Wanted, and The Crown and the Flame. We got the whole book. I prefer that method. Like, I know that it could be, taxing on them, but they don't have to do it for every book. But I feel like books like this mystery novel and stuff like that, I feel like mystery stories, I feel like they have to, in my opinion, they have to give us the whole thing, because we just going to just this again this one chapter every week is it kind of just loses its, yeah, again, it kind of loses its excitement. It kind of loses its momentum and stuff like that. Like, every time something would happen, it was like, gotta wait another week, and and it's like, every moment we have to wait, it's like, it just keeps losing its luster. And I just felt like with this story, they should have given us the whole book. Maybe that would, because I feel like it would still be good, but I feel like it wouldn't have lost its momentum so quickly. Um, Also, I want to say that I wanted to play um, as a guy in this one, because I wanted to see, like, would it be different if you play a guy, like, because there are books on here where it seems like if you play as a woman, it's meh, but if you play as a guy, oh, it's pretty dope and stuff like that, and it's pretty good. So I wanted to play this as a guy. However, the guy avatars were ugly as fuck. I'm telling you, every last one. The Asian one, the black one, the Hispanic one, the white one. I'm sorry, they was atrocious. I was like, what is this? What is this? Absolutely not. I was like, oh my goodness, this is atrocious. I had to play the female, because the female characters always looking pretty. That's just my opinion. Like, the female avatars always look pretty, stunning, beautiful, and stuff. The male, especially like the males, especially the ones where you can't like change like the hair, and if you do change the hair still doesn't help, because they don't really have a variety of hair and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it was very, I was so sad and disappointed, because I was like, now how y'all gonna do my guys like this? Because I'm pretty sure there are male, I'm pretty sure there are some men out here that are playing choices and want to play as a guy. So it's like, to see that like the guy characters ain't really, like, it seemed like they take good care of the women but not the men. It's like, dang, that's just disrespectful. Um, Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I'm missing anything so far, but if I am, please let me know in the comments below. But overall, I would say it's a decent story. I do recommend people who want to entertain themselves, like maybe if they have nothing to do, um, and stuff, like maybe you maybe you like you just got off work, or maybe you finish watching a movie or whatever, like, you finish doing. Maybe you want to, like, just dive into something that, entertain you for a good minute. I would suggest The Deadliest Game, especially if you like murder mystery, like if you like stuff like Clue, or that reality TV show Who Done It that used to come on. If you don't know that, sadly, that sucks for you, because man, that was a good show. But overall, it was a decent story. Could it have been better? Yes. I really do think, like, the thing that just did it for me was the background music, the too much of a slow burn, the whole, I want to say the whole just pointing the finger at everyone. It was a little annoying, because, like, especially because it'd be like, one minute it'd be like, oh, this person could did it. Oh, this person, like, the way they kept pushing it. And it was like, it kind of reminded me of Tyler Perry's Fall from Grace, where the main character, not Grace, but the lawyer, how the lawyer just kept doing the wrong shit. That's what I felt like was happening here. Like, I felt like John, Farrah, Dante, and Finn was just kept doing the wrong shit at times. And so, yeah. And then, of course, like I said, um, basically, like, revisiting the evidence over, I just thought was daunting as well, and stuff like that. But yeah, again, overall, it was a nice, decent story. I would rate it. I would rate it 3 stars out of 5. Um, Mainly because of all the things that I have said previously in this video. But let me know what you guys in the comments think. Um, did you enjoy the story? What would you rate it? Would you rate this? Like, what would you rate it? Would you rate this a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, or a 5? Let me know. And also let me know, who was your love interest? Was it John, Dante, or Farrah? Or if you're playing it now, who are you leaning to in the romance department? And also, did you know that it was Pete from the jump? Because I would like to know, because I know no one has talked about it. I feel like I was the only one that put something up about, like, who I thought it could be and stuff like that. Because I know my thoughts was all over the place with that. But I do want to know, did people, like, actually knew who the killer was, or was they, like, clueless, kind of like I was? Just let me know. And if you have made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me rant about this story. And I hope you continue to listen to all these rants about all these different stories, whether they're from choices, romance, chapters, lovesick, you name it. Again, thank you for your time, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!